Guys, in this video we're going to create these two iOS screens in Sketch. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's create this iOS app. So the very first thing that we're gonna do is go on Artboard and we're going to select iPhone 11. However, you can select any other size that you prefer. And I'm just going to show the keyboard viewer so that it's going to be very easy for you to keep track of any shortcuts that I'm using or any key strikes. So let's go ahead and let's create the very top section, which is going to be named, let's name it today. And we're going to change the font to Lato. So let's do that. By the way, if you don't have Lato, it's a free Google web font which you can access very easily by just going on Google, and I'm just opening here Lato, and we're going to click over here on Lato. You can simply download the family, and this is going to download the entire font family of Lato inside your folder. So just double click on the files inside and you should be able to install it in a matter of minutes. So that's pretty much it when it comes to that, and we're going to make it black when it comes to the weight, and I'm going to duplicate over here this text and I'm going to make it smaller, and I'm going to change the text to Friday 7 November. All right, I'm going to align it right here on the left, and I'm gonna make this font just a little bit smaller. I'm going to make it left aligned, and I'm going to change the text to gray. All right, perfect. So I think we're in good shape when it comes to this aspect. And one thing that I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to create the main rectangle where we're going to add some of the main features. We're going to remove the border, make the fill to white, and we're also going to add a drop shadow just to give it a little bit more of a visual emphasis. I'm also going to make the radius so that the corners are a little bit smoother, and we're going to just make the shadow smaller in the alpha channel, so probably you can see it from the recording, but what I just did is instead of having the alpha channel set to 50, I just reduced it to let's keep it at 13. I think that's a good enough value, and there we go. Also going to center this just to be sure that it's vertically centered in the artboard. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to just copy these elements, I'm going to duplicate them, and I'm going to move them above the rectangle so that we can actually see them. So I'm also going to just left align this, reduce the font size. I'm going to rename this to Progress. All right. I'm also going to take this and I'm going to transform it so that it's all caps. And I'm also going to add just a little bit of character here so that the distance between one letter and the other is going to be more pronounced. I'm also going to change this to just bold and make it a little bit smaller. All right, I think we're making some good progress right here, pun intended. And we're going to just add a little bit of more height right here. Now here comes the fun part, because I'm going to go and use a Nucleo in order to basically add a graph. I'm going to select Google Material Icons. I'm simply going to bring this one here. Now Nucleo is a free icon manager app which you can download by simply going on Nucleo app. So I'm going to show you here exactly what I'm referring to. Nucleo app. And basically you can download the app for free, and you can have access to Google Material icons. Another way you can access that same icon, which I just used, is just typing in Google icons, and you're going to find immediately material.io. So you can simply search for graph material.io, and as you can see here, you can click and just click to download the SVG. You're going to have access to this icon. So there's multiple ways, but we're always going to use the Google Material icons. So that's that, and let's just bring it a little bit more on the left. Let's change the size. I'm gonna make it maybe I'm just going to change the opacity just a little bit, or actually the color, so it's a little bit less visible, and I think I'm liking this style. So this is going to be pretty well done so far. And I'm also going to change here the name. Here I'm going to add a number. Here I'm going to change the name of the text to lesson, and I'm going to reduce the size of this to half, and the best way you can do it is simply going on the top right and using slash and then 2. As you can see, this divided the width of this element into half. So I'm just gonna go here. I'm going to center align these. I'm going to center align these here using the layout options, and I think we're in a good shape. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is to make all of this white, and I'm also going to add a gradient, so we can have a little bit more of visual interest right here. So I'm gonna do it like this. I'm going to select the other gradient, copy, and then I'm going to change either one of the two, so that it's the gradient is going to have a slightly different color, and I think I'm quite happy with this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use Command plus G, as I have all of these elements selected. So I created a group, and I'm going to bring the second group by using Shift plus Alt and dragging it on the right. So I just created a duplicate, and I'm gonna do exactly the same thing here again. Shift plus Alt, left, and Shift plus Alt, left click, and bring it down. Then I'm gonna do it again one more time. So as you can see, we just created 4 blocks of elements. We're also going to change the color right here, and we're just going to make it more towards a red color. And yeah, I think this is good to go. Now I'm going to deep select the rectangle. I'm also going to just copy the style. I'm going to right click, paste the style, and we're in a good position now. I'm also going to change the text right here. It's going to be warnings, and these are going to be calls. All right, then we can probably change the colors, but for now I think we're in a good position. Now another thing I want to do is to copy the same style of text as I have here on the top. So I'm just going to copy it right here and paste the style. All right, so we're doing all right. This is going to be changed to stats, and we're also going to add a avatar on the very right. So I'm going to remove the border, And I'm going to go over here on web, and if you don't have the craft plugin, which is essentially this column right here, you can simply go on Safari or whatever browser you want, and go craft sketch. You're gonna see here this Envision app link. Simply click on craft and click on download the plugin, and you should be able to access it very easily. So once you're in the craft plugin and you select the web, you need to go on Unsplash, and be sure that when you're clicking in here using command and then also click, because otherwise it won't work. And we're going to use profile as the, actually let's use the keyword portrait, and we're going to select this guy right here. Actually the framing is not perfect, so maybe let's find another photo where we can tweak it vertically. Yeah, maybe this one will do. All right, perfect. So we made progress on that as well. And another thing that we have to do is to add some text below. So we just duplicated these guys, and I'm going to duplicate this once again. And I'm going to change the typography and say keep going, you're doing great. All right, I'm also going to center this, and I'm going to have no character. The character is going to be set to 0 here. Let's center this again, and I'm also going to grab one of these rectangles, duplicate them, bring them down, and make sure that this is covering the full width exactly. All right, perfect. So this is going to be the main call to action button, or actually one of the call to actions. So just going to rename this to see history, center this, make it white. Also going to make it just 1 or 2 steps bigger in font size. Going to click on this in order to change the color, and I'm going to give this a 10% opacity. So this would essentially be it. Actually, let's vertically center this one, and we're in a good position. All right, so far so good. I'm just not 100% sure about the color gradient here. Maybe I want to go with something a little bit more towards the red tint. Okay, it's looking a little bit better now. And maybe the first one should be a little bit lighter, just a hint. Okay, perfect. Now I'm simply going to copy and paste the style here, which you can do also, like left clicking or right clicking and go on copy style and then paste style over here. All right, perfect. So I think we're good to go when it comes to the first screen, and now we're gonna move to the second screen. So the very first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to just rename this screen, and we're going to rename this one as well. So this is going to be our second screen, and the very first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to get rid of this section right here, and we're going to bring this section up and just make it full width. All right, so basically we have our basic pricing structure. So let's go ahead here and rename this to prices, And let's be sure that it's perfectly left aligned. We're gonna do the same also right here, since we were just a couple of pixels off. And what we're gonna do here is we're going to change this to auto width, so that this is going to basically use the width in total autonomy. And we're going to rename this to 999. We're also going to make it black in order to give it some more visual emphasis. And we're going to select this and make it to 1 month. And we're going to add all of the other ones as well in just a moment. So I'm going to center align this, and I'm also going to simply get rid of all of these elements, and just going to duplicate it once, duplicate it 2 times. We're going to just change the text over here, and also update the pricing accordingly. So this is going to be $49, and we're good to go. So I'm going to copy the style, paste the style here as well, and I'm also going to change the color of this very last one, so that it's well diversified. And here we go. So basically we have also the pricing page for the most part. Probably going to change this section below. All right, so we're good to go when it comes to this section right here. We're going to change this to contact support. We're probably going to change the style just to mix things up just a little bit. I'm not going to have any gradient. I'm going to add a border. Just going to have this color right here. Or actually, let's use the eye color tool in order to pick this color here. It's going to be 1.5. And overall, I'm quite happy with how this is looking. Now we're also going to create so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave a like below, and feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions regarding SketchUp or UI design in general. I would be happy to help. And if you're interested in this kind of content, on my YouTube channel I have over 300 videos, both of software tutorials like Sketch and Figma, but also giving you my experience of freelance design and you know, those kind of things, because I've been a freelance designer for almost 8 years now, and really focusing on web design and UI UX design. So I like to share my experience on my YouTube channel, so feel free to subscribe if you're interested in those kind of topics. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.